कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय
प्रेम से कहो श्री जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय
जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
जय
गंगा माई की
जय
यमुना माई की
जय
भक्त देवी तुलसी महारानी की
जय
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय
all glories to assembled devotees,
Hare Krishna
all glories to assembled devotees,
Hare Krishna
all glories to assembled devotees,
Hare Krishna
all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hari
Hare
Hari.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. It's my great pleasure and privilege that I was asked to fill in for today's speaker. So I'll try my best. So we will continue to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19. Chapter 19 entitled Text 5, yes. Thank you. So Chapter 19, I just wanted to give the proper title. Yeah. The appearance of Sukadeva Goswami and text 5. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Atho bihaye mamum chalokam vimarsito heyataya parastat Krishnangri seva madhimanyamana upavisat prayam amritya nadyam Atho bihaye mamum chalokam Vimarsito heyataya purasta Krishnangri seva madhimanyamana Upavisat prayamamartya nadyam Atho bihaye mamamum chalokam Vimarsito heyataya purasta Krishnangri seva madhimanyamana Upavisat prayamamartya nadyam. Please recite.
Ato vihayemam amum chalokam vimarshitau heyataya purastat Krishnangri sevam adhimanyamana upavishat prayam amartya nadyam.
Ato vihaye mamam chalokam vimarsito heyataya purasthat Krishnangri sevam abhimanyamana upavisat prayam amritya nadyam.
Ato vihaye mam anum chalokam vimarsita heyataya parashat Krishangri sevam adhimanya mana upavisat prayam amarjanadyam.
Hare Krishna. Atho vihayem amamum chalokam vimarshito heyataya purastat Krishnangradhi sevam adhimanyamana upavishat prayam amratya nadyam.
Hare Krishna.
Tho
Hare Krishna.
videyamam amum cha lokam vimarshitau heyataya purastat Krishnangri sevam adhimanyamana upavishat prayam amartyanatyam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. अथो विहाये ममं च लोकं विमर्शितो हे यतया पुरस्तात् कृष्णाग्रिसेवामधि मन्यमान उपाविशत् प्रायममर्तनाद्यम्.
Hare Krishna. Atho vihaye mam amom cha lokam vimarshitao heya taya purastat Krishnangiri sevam adhimanyamana upavishat prayam amaratyanadhyam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Okay. We'll do the synonyms. Atho, thus, vihaya, giving up. Imam, this. Amum, and the next. Cha, also. Lokam, planets. Vimarsito, all of them being judged. Heyataya, because of inferiority. Purastat, herein before. Krishna Angri, the lotus feet of the Lord, Sri Krishna. Sevam, transcendental loving service. Adhimanyamanaha, one who thinks of the greatest of all achievements. Upavisat, sat down firmly. Prayam, for fasting. Amrita Nadyam, on the bank of the transcendental river, the Ganges or the Yamuna. Translation: Maharaj Parikshit sat down firmly on the banks of the Ganges to concentrate his mind in Krishna consciousness, rejecting all other practices of self-realization, because transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement, superseding all other methods. Purport: for a devotee like Maharaj Parikshit, none of the material planets, even the topmost of Brahmaloka, is as desirable as Goloka Vrindavan, the abode of Lord Sri Krishna, the primeval Lord and the original personality of Godhead. This earth is one of the innumerable material planets within the universe, and there are innumerable universes also within the compass of the Mahatattva. The devotees are told by the Lord and his representatives, the spiritual masters or acharyas, that not one of the planets within all the innumerable universes is suitable for the residential purposes of a devotee. The devotee always desires to go back home, back to Godhead, just to become one of the associates of the Lord in the capacity of servitor, friend, parent, or conjugal lover of the Lord, either in one of the innumerable Vaikuntha planets or in Goloka Vrindavan, the planet of Lord Sri Krishna. All these planets are eternally situated in the spiritual sky, the Parabhyama, which is on the other side of the causal ocean within the Mahatattva. Maharaj Parikshit was already aware of all this information due to his accumulated piety and birth in a high family of devotees, Vaishnavas. And thus, he was not at all interested in the material planets. Modern scientists are very eager to reach the moon by material arrangements, but they cannot conceive of the highest planet of this universe. But a devotee like Maharaj Parikshit does not care a fig for the moon or, for that matter, any of the material planets. So, when he was assured of his death on a fixed date, he became more determined in the transcendental loving service of Lord Krishna by complete fasting on the bank of the transcendental river, Yamuna, which flows down by the capital of Hastinapur in the Delhi state. Both the Ganges and the Yamuna are Amritya, transcendental rivers, and the Yamuna is still more sanctified for the following reasons. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschyata Desa Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Maharaj Parikshit sat down firmly on the banks of the Ganges to concentrate his mind in Krishna consciousness, rejecting all other practices of self-realization, because transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement, superseding all other methods. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I would like to seek blessings from all the senior Vaishnavas here to share something on this verse. It's not a simple verse, especially this is refers to a person who is in the verge of death. So we are hearing the Mahajana, Parikshit Maharaj. He's also Mahajana, even the principal Mahajanas are given, but any devotee, any living entity follows this Mahajana, he also attains that perfection. So Parikshit Maharaj is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam because of his exemplary behavior, because of his devotion. So we can hear this activity. He's been given the notice of 7 days. 7 days. Whenever any kind of notice comes, one gets afraid. Now, generally, when I see, and I get so many mails, letters I get, but whenever that letter comes from the county or state, I'm always a little anxious. What happened? Is anything related to temple or anything related to personal? Because letters from government is not very easy. So we are always in anxiety when we get such kind of letters and notices. And this notice which he received, he did not expect. He did not expect. However, he was aspiring because of his transcendental behavior. Parikshit Maharaj, generally, if we commit something, conditioned soul, if they commit some mistake, we always, defend ourselves. And that's the nature of the conditioned souls. We always defend. But Parikshit Maharaj, being a great soul and devotee of the Lord Krishna, he did not heard about this curse given to him. He did not hear about beginning that he has only 7 days. Still, he was repenting in his heart. Repentance is very favorable for one's spiritual growth. So this is the characteristics of a pure devotee, that why, one feels sorry, why I committed such mistake. How did I commit this mistake? And there's a similar kind of word, guilty is also there, but guilty is different. The repentance is, I was looking in that dictionary that to feel sorry for something you have done. When you repent, you acknowledge that you did and vow to change your ways in a positive way. It's not that you feel morose and discouraged, rather how you can improve it. And you're ready to take and face any kind of consequences comes on you. So Parikshit Maharaj was really feeling bad. It's not because he has to suffer for the consequences. It's because he became the cause for others' suffering, others' inconveniences. This is the Vaishnava quality. He was feeling bad because of me, I put others I give inconveniences to others, especially Samik Rishi here is a great sage and devotee. How I could do this? He was taking all blame on himself. In the mind, he was contemplating, I must suffer for this. And I'm ready to take all this thing. This kind of behavior, human beings makes error. We always make error. Prabhupada says, man is to make error. That's natural in this material world. We are not perfect. But how we react to this situation, that is what shows the greatness of a person. And when Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, especially he describes different qualities of a Vaishnava. Different qualities of a Vaishnava in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita explains many qualities. He says, these qualities, when I see, it becomes so dear to me. So Krishna is saying, devotees are very, very dear to me. Very, very dear to me. Especially, I will refer one verse. Yasman nadi jate loka nadvijate na yaha harsa marsa bhayadvege muktaya sache me priyaha sa cha me priyaha. So this is one of the qualities. He says that a devotee, my devotee, he by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone. There are two things. He does not put anyone into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone. Someone tries to disturb or cause an inconvenience to devotees, they are not bothered very much. In general, that when we in advanced stage, we are not disturbed. We take it. Tatya anukampa samikshimana is Lord's mercy. Pure devotees take as a Lord's mercy. So then why Parikshit Maharaj was so disturbed? He was disturbed in one sense, right? Says that by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone. So Parikshit Maharaj is not disturbed because he is going to have the consequences of what he has done. He is equipoised in happiness and distress, a devotee's fear and anxiety. So Parikshit Maharaj was not in anxiety or disturbed because, oh my God, what will happen now? I'll have to suffer, and try to find out different ways of, counteract these curses and this. In this world, we always try to find solutions. How can I counteract these different situations, which is cause of my inconveniences? But Parikshit Maharaj was actually a little worried because he became the cause of others' distress. Because of me, unnecessarily Samik Rishi was put into inconveniences. That was more bothering Parikshit Maharaj. And this is a natural symptom of devotee. He by whom no one is put into difficulty. So these qualities becomes very much dear to Lord Krishna. Krishna himself is mentioning in all these wonderful qualities. In the second chapter, primarily we see that qualities of a liberated soul, Mukta Atma. And especially the 12th chapter elaborates the qualities of a pure devotees. So King's lamentation is because we don't want to trouble others. That's the reason he was not happy. So when it comes to self, one tolerates, but when it comes to others, one really repents and tries to beg forgiveness and tries to improve. So then, how such quality is possible in a devotee? How can we get this quality? So it says that actually because a devotee is always engrossed in Krishna consciousness and engaged in devotional service, such material circumstances cannot move him. It is said that a devotee who is devotees of the Lord, has all the good qualities of demigods. Samasate, they appear, they manifest in the devotees. There's a book called 26 Qualities. I have it here actually. Yeah. Saswai Swami Maharaj has compiled this 26 qualities of a devotee, Vaishnava behavior. So they're beautiful because these are the ornaments of a devotee. These are the ornaments of a devotee. By practicing sincere devotional service, these qualities naturally manifest. We are wild at certain point of time, then we become humble. We are always revengeful, then we become forgiving. We are reacting all the situations, then we become tolerant to these situations. We always blame to others, then we take it that I am the cause of all this income. These are the contrast behavior which is manifest by practicing genuine devotional service. So now Maharaj Parikshit, when he heard by Samik Rishi, when he heard, he did not expect, but when suddenly heard from something, wow, I have 7 days. I have 7 days. So what did he? Parikshit Maharaj sat down firmly on the banks of the Ganges to concentrate his mind in Krishna consciousness. So when difficult situations comes, what happens? We get bewildered. What I'm supposed to do? What I should do? Many times we will see, sometimes when we go to interview, out of anxiety, we answer something different. So much of nervousness we have. And especially when we give class also. I remember my initial days when I used to give class, there was so much of anxiety. Oh my God. You don't know, you plan to speak something, you speak something else. Anyone had such situation? You're so nervous. In front of crowd, you're speaking, and I remember, in fact, to face the crowd also, audience also is so difficult for me. Devotees put me in Philadelphia, oh, you make an announcement. I never used to come in front of the crowd. So it is natural, when we are not used to it, we're convinced that this anxiety will come, fearfulness will come. What to do, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to speak, 7 days of. So here it says that Parikshit Maharaj was kindly very clear, rejecting all other practices of self-realization, because transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement, superseding all other methods. Parikshit Maharaj was proper, writes in his purport, because of his piety, because of his upbringing, he was clear, what he was, what path he should be accepting. I have seen in my personal life, in relatives in India, especially when someone is dying, the whole family is like in chaos. So, somebody brings water, somebody brings, tells some, different words to them. And many are, all of them are in anxiety. They don't know what they are supposed to do in service. At the same time, the person who is dying also, he also doesn't know what he's supposed to do. What the best path can be attained. So here Parikshit Maharaj, rejecting all other practices of self-realization. What are the different paths of self-realization? There are many paths given. We see, especially, you can say Gyan also, the Ashtanga Yoga also, there, different path of liberation. But Parikshit Maharaj, he took to Krishna consciousness. Shankaracharya writes, we may argue whole life in different philosophies and different ways, but at the end of the life, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Rakshati Dukkun Karane. We can do whatever we want when we know that we have time. But actually, it is for sure that when the difficult times comes at last moment of our life, there's only one person can help us. Is Govinda. There's only one person. It is very common. It is very common, especially in India, when someone passes away. After they pass away, in ISKCON, at least we know we are supposed to help the departing soul to remind about Krishna by arranging that facility for chanting, so that when the soul is departing, we will help him reminding Krishna. I think all the devotees do when who is that? Chaitanya Jivan Prabhu was departing, right? All the devotees did a very wonderful setup and helped in reminding of Krishna. But many times in India, you see that they do Lord Krishna's name after the soul is departed, because they don't know what needs to be done. So it all depends on what sangha, what association you make in our life. There's Kulasekhara, the Prabhupada refers to prayers to Kulasekhara. Similar situation. Actually, you can see Parikshit Maharaj was, in health-wise, he was okay. In health-wise, he was okay. He was, in fact, was blessed. Kulasekhara is saying in Mukundamala Stotra, he says, Krishna tadiya padapankaja panjarantam advaiva me visatu manasa rajahamsaha prana prayana samaye kapavata pittai kantavarodana vidau smaranam kutaste. Oh, how will I be able to remember Krishna, your name, in difficult times? Please help me. So Kulasekhara's prayers is like, he's ready, he's already ready, ready to leave this world, because he knows that. He knows that, once I leave this material world, I'll be living in association of Lord Krishna in Vaikuntha Dham or Goloka Dham. So, there are many ways, one can be ready, is called, there's a particular word called, while living in this material body, one is liberated. So Kulasekhara is that stage. They say, I'm ready. Because I'm not sure what will happen in last moment of life. I may not be able to remember Krishna due to my material condition, my bodily condition. Please help me, O Krishna. So life is a preparation. Life is a preparation. Prabhupada writes in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita in 33 verse, he says that my devotees, actually it's not a 9th chapter, I think, some other place. So devotees of the Lord, they know that this place is not a place for gentlemen. Anityam asukham lokam kim punar Brahmana Punya Bhakta Rajarasya Tatha Anityam Asukham Lokam Imam Prapya Bhajasva Mam. So devotees know that this material world is Anityam Asukham Lokam. Today's Prabhupada writes, by the mercy of Krishna, spiritual master, devotees, we already have a background knowledge of nature of this material world. Anityam Asukham Lokam. It's a temporary, it's not eternal, also come. It's a full of miseries, not habitable by any sane gentleman. This world is declared by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be temporary and full of miseries. This is revealed to us by the causeless mercy of Prabhupada and great devotees. So devotees of the Lord is always prepared, They know that anytime the difficult situation comes. Recently, there was a big accident happened in India. Many of you would know. Especially it took place in Orissa. That's why I got the news. 3 trains got collided, and so many people died. It's like a worst. Amazing, it's very, very, think about it, high-speed trains and going. And people had not realized that. They were in their journey. They thought they will reach out somewhere else. And whatever the mindset they had it. And people died. And I'm sure not many were prepared that will come. Not many were remembering Krishna. I just heard, tomorrow we are going for Rath Yatra. I just heard, one member, he said that, oh, I cannot come. My aunt passed away. We are seeing day and night, hearing every moment of our life. We are hearing all this time, but still, generally, we are not prepared. But devotees are prepared. The devotees are told by the Lord and His representatives, the spiritual master acharyas, that not one of the planets within all the innumerable universes is suitable for the residential purposes of a devotee. This Prabhupada writes in this purport today. The devotee always desires to go back home, back to Godhead, just to become one of the associates of the Lord in the capacity of a servitor, friend, parent, or conjugal lover of the Lord. Either in one of the innumerable Vaikuntha planets or Goloka, based on one's rasa, and based on one's desire to serve. This is one of the things Krishna depends on the devotees. Generally, devotees depend on Krishna, but Krishna depends on devotees because, ye yatamam prapadante tams tate bhajamyaham. Krishna says that my devotee wants to serve me in this way. So he also reciprocates accordingly. How we want to serve Krishna, Krishna also serves, reciprocates in the same way. So that's why we'll see, some will go to Vaikuntha planets or some will go in Goloka Vrindavan based on the desire of the Lord. Especially, I think we hear about the Gopakumar. I didn't read, I heard the Gopakumar's journey. Gopakumar was satisfied only when he met Lord Krishna. Only he met Lord Krishna. So this is a great science and great knowledge is given to us. Maharaj Parikshit was already aware of all this information due to his accumulated piety and birth in a high family of devotees, Vaishnavas, and thus he was not at all interested in the material planets. Prabhupada writes, material scientists are very eager to go here and there. Oh, I want to go there. Oh, I want to go there. And we also make different plans. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Mexico. I want to go here and there. But Prabhupada also used to travel. The purpose is different. Prabhupada traveled, he wanted to deliver the people, fallen people. And we can go, for the association, just like we had a Sadhu Sangh devotees gathered, and now Rath Yatra is happening in New York, devotees are gathering. But our goal should be Anya Vilasita Sunyam, Jnana Karmadhya Nivritam. Our goal should be, let my visit is purposed to be pleasing to Lord Krishna and devotees. And how we can help this movement in contributing in whatever we have. Best utilization of that money is to give books, to give the holy name to people wherever we are. Interestingly, one of our devotees here, they visited some of the islands. I saw that some of the islands have still some tribals are there, and they were making them chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, if you can have a purpose, wherever we go, we can have the holy name. That'll be very nice. So Maharaj Parikshit, when he heard this news, Prabhupada writes, he did not care for a fig to attain to any other planets, because he knows that. What did they use? Again, I have to go to the womb of a mother. Again, I have to go through inconvenience, staying in 9 months. Again, I have to go through the childhood, which is very painful. childhood is pleasurable for us to see a child, but for child himself is very inconvenient. They always try to see, oh, when I'll get big, I want to do it myself. Everything. So they don't like it when in childhood. So Maharaj Parikshit, he was very clear in his understanding what I'm supposed to do. He took shelter of Lord Krishna. He took, by complete fasting on the bank of transcendental river Yamuna, which flows down by the capital of Hastinapur in Delhi. Prabhupada writes, both the Ganges and Yamuna are Amartya, transcendental rivers, not Amritya, Amartya, transcendental rivers. Well, both Ganga and Yamuna, both are Ganges, and there's a branch which comes from in Delhi, goes to Vrindavan. Both are pure, transcendental, but Yamuna is still more sanctified because of the further reasons are given. Because Lord Krishna himself performed transcendental pastimes in this water of Yamuna. So Parikshit Maharaj took shelter on this there, and remembered Lord Krishna in association of the devotees. Now I will give a couple of examples, then we'll open for discussion. What we have, all of us will be able to get the opportunity to this advance notice? No, we won't. Will we all get the opportunity to sit in front of Yamuna, in the shore of Yamuna, to meditate on Lord Krishna? Maybe not. This is not very practical. But we can see by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, this Krishna consciousness movement is available to all of us in any place. I was hearing the lecture, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. His bodily condition was very miserable, very bad situation. The cancer is affecting throughout the body, impacting the whole body. But when devotees share his condition, even though he was going through suffering, when he heard the holy name, when he was remembering Krishna, he was so joyful with big smile in his face. Hardly anyone will see in this world. It's impossible, a dying man in bliss. How is it possible? Because of their firmly situated in Krishna consciousness. Recently, His Holiness Kadamakananda Swami Maharaj also left. I'm hearing so many talks about him, how he departed this world. So not only the sannyasis, even devotees who are not in sannyasa ashram also departing very wonderfully in the association of the devotees, remembering Krishna. So this beautiful process is to always help ourselves in establishing good relationship with devotees. That's very important, because devotees are the only one who are going to remind us about Krishna. Isn't it true? We are totally dependent on the Lord's devotees. Parikshit Maharaj was a king and emperor, is a great soul. He has seen Lord Krishna and is while he was in the womb of Uttara, and he is such wonderful qualities. Whole universe, saints from whole universe, they came. So what we can do is we can catch hold of Lord's devotees, have a wonderful relationship, and prepare ourselves in a proper attitude. We do our part, and Krishna will help us in these difficult situations. When our turn comes, for devotees, of course, difficult situations are not, it's an opportunity to remember Krishna. So when our turn comes, Krishna will certainly protect us. Abhasya rakhibe Krishna Viswasa palan Saranga saranagata hoibeja Tahara prarthana sune Srinanda Kumar. So, a firm conviction that Krishna will protect us. That's one of the limb of bhakti, devotional service. So these are some of the thoughts I wanted to share. Yeah, I'm not in that situation, at this time. So all I hear, I'm learning from the devotees, their realizations, how they act. Recently, I was reading about Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev, when he departed this world, he was, physically he was very bad situation, but in sound, but mind and intelligence, he was completely sound. Otherwise, how in that situation he could instruct Maharaj Yudhishthir? That's the amazing thing, right? In hospitals, even someone goes nowadays, they put in hospital, they don't allow you also to speak. They don't, oh, don't disturb them, don't disturb them. When you physically you're not well. But Bhishma Dev, he was instructing Yudhishthira Maharaj in that situation. It means, they are not worried about themselves at all. If they are worried about themselves, they would say, oh, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, like this. And that is possible to attain this phase, very easily possible. For anyone, it is possible. Simply by taking devotional service very sincerely, serving the Vaishnavas, more and more facility for hearing and chanting. So I would like to pause it here, stop it here. Please correct me and share and correct me. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Let me share the screen also here. Vishnu Prabhu, Yana, please. Chavichandra.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, what was that song you sang at the end? What was that?
That is Saranagati.
Oh, okay. I didn't recognize. From Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Yeah, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jiva Daya Kare.
Okay, thank you.
Can any examples of our devotees, great souls who are departing, how devotees helped, and or how they very peacefully and joyfully.
I have one, Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about a couple weeks ago, one of my best friend, good friend, that we joined ISKCON together. We went college together, and she was very ill, and she was in the hospital almost 1 month, and unfortunately, we lost her, and while she was in the hospital, her husband, another devotee, Mataji, was always taking care of her, and they were always, letting. She was a disciple of Bhakti Charu Maharaj, and she was always hearing Srila Prabhupada chanting and Bhakti Charu Maharaj chanting, and she was bedridden almost a whole month at the end of her life, and she was able to speak a little bit. And just before she had to leave her body, she told her husband, suddenly she said, let's go to Vrindavan. And her husband said, oh, okay, I'll take you mentally, I have to go to Vrindavan. Okay, wow. The husband did a whole trip, like, we are at the airport, then we arrive in Mathura. From Mathura, we take a rickshaw. We went to Krishna Balaram, and it was almost, Aarti time for Srila Prabhupada at Samadhi. So they went and offered obeisances at Prabhupada Samadhi, and I said, okay. And after that, they just went to the Krishna Balaram temple. They went in front of Gornitai. they offer obeisances in front of Gonitai, and they offer obeisances to Sri Krishna Balaram. Then in the end, then they went to Radha Shama Sundar, and she just, raised her hand. They say, Jai Radha Shama Sundar, and she left her body.
Haribol.
She left her body. And and she was always very sincere devotee. She distributed hundreds of Srila Prabhupada books, very good preacher. And see how the Giriraj, even when she was ill, she was not even hardly had to speak one word. She would tell her husband, did you take care of my Giriraj? Did you offer water? Somehow other, because the lifetime preparation, she was always like, Krishna conscious and always very sincere. And whatever she was doing, she was a perfectionist. She would do everything so nicely. Even daily worship, books distribution, preaching. And she was such a wonderful, at the end, she was able to remember, because that was her desire, that I want to go and retire in Vrindavan.
Such a wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Hare Krishna.
That was only possible, because they practiced. It's they practiced in preparation for that, isn't it? When we practice sincerely, what we aspire, that's what we're going to get. And for devotees also, many times we get carried away by different directions. At least keeping ourselves our goal is fixed. How we should be able to remember Krishna. So our activities should be in such a way that to attain that goal. I think Parikshit Maharaj also, he was very clear on his preparation. He said that he did not react to the situation. And rather he said, okay, now is the time, because he knew what he's supposed to do. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Yes, we are safe, and we need to help others also. Right? Anyone else wants to share something? Vishnu Prabhu, you want to say, Dhanacharya Prabhu? On this subject?
I don't see any other hands up.
Okay. Any corrections? Because this subject I always contemplate also. I don't know if it's natural or not. Contemplate. How our situation be. Especially the body is very difficult situation. Those days, life used to be very long, prolonged life. Those days means several decades back, people used to live longer. Nowadays, as the symptoms of Kali is spreading, even from childhood you get disease, and life has become already very short. The nature of lifestyle we have it, the accidents and anything happens. So only shelter is to take to Krishna consciousness very, 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 very seriously. And with Dhanacharya, help of Dhanacharya, we can improve more and more, spreading the holy name, chanting, we are discussing. We can have more Harinam, more programs, and introduce more and more devotees. By doing that, we are already covered. Krishna is always definitely going to protect us. So we just can become an instrument in the Lord's service.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a very nice class. And I also liked when you said that Parikshit Maharaj thought that this everything happened. The reason is himself, like he's the cause of that. He did not blame Shringi. So that's what I think. When something happens to us, we start thinking about others that this did to us. but actually the cause is we are the cause. We have to think ourselves what we did. And so that's the lesson I think I got today. And thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, that nature we had it until we had the association of the devotees. Now we are in the association of devotees, Krishna consciousness. Our whole attitude will change in a due course of time, and we need to have we need to measure our transformation by how we act and behave in this situation. How, that shows how much we are progressing. So thank you for bringing that point. Yes, that's very much. Those are the qualities shows that we are ready for liberation. These are the divine and demonic qualities Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, which is divine qualities are condition for liberation. Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna. So we'll
Thank you.
stop here. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarvyascha kripa sindhuvya tanam bhavanebhyo Vishnuvebhyo. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Krishna Kirtan Prabhu. Prabhu, I was thinking, remember at Sadhusanga when Sachinandana Maharaj asked Jayapataka Swami, he said, how are you? We want to know how you're doing.
Mhm.
And his answer was, I'm very happy to be in Krishna consciousness. And given his health, is quite an amazing answer.
Exactly.
And then he says, as far as my body is concerned, it is a wreck. He said, but I'm very happy to be in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, thank you. We are hearing from Bhagavat, we are hearing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we are hearing from everywhere, and there's an example in front of our own eyes, right? In our own eyes, in our own life, we are seeing what Krishna consciousness can give is unaffected by one's physical condition. It's called Jivana Mukta. Jivana, that's the word I was looking for. Jivana Mukta means you are completely aloof from this condition. Thank you, Dhanacharya Prabhu, for reminding. He's happy. On the other hand, we may not be happy even though all our bodily condition, financial situation, job, family, car, everything is there, we may not be happy. And on the other way, in spite of all this worse situation physically, but he said, I'm happy because I'm in Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you for filling in at the very last minute. As I was saying, I had approached somebody else and that person chickened out and, and you kindly agreed. So thank you very much. As you were saying, this is a heavy topic, but a topic that all of us need to think about and keep in our mind. And as both of you were talking about Jayapatak Maharaj, very exalted soul, talking like that. But I was trying to find the thing on Facebook that my Guru Maharaj had put in. A very young godbrother of mine had passed away in a car accident. But in that post, they had written how he was driving towards the temple after doing some, service, and he avoided an animal that was crossing the rural road. This is near New Talavan, so I'm assuming it's near a, farm, and he died. But then the police had said that the Mahamantra was blasting on his radio. So we sometimes think and look at only the very exalted people, but even the examples are right around us all the time. What is important is that we pay attention, we pick up those signs and try our best to follow those examples.
Yes, thank you. So irrespective of, exactly, we always give examples of, sannyasis and great. And
absolutely we should, but
simple devotees, any simple, humble and devotee, whatever ashram, varna he is, irrespective of one's Krishna takes care. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna Kirtan Prabhu.
Yes, okay.